Welcome to our Middle East Briefing program. Today, we delve into the U.S. State Department's defense of Israel's military occupation in the Golan Heights, labeling it as a necessary act of self-defense against potential threats. As the Biden administration prepares to take office, all eyes are on how they will navigate this complex situation. In another significant development, U.S. prosecutors have indicted 2 senior Syrian officials for their involvement in the torture of detainees at a notorious prison during the Syrian civil war. This marks a pivotal moment in the fight against human rights abuses, as the indictment highlights the severe conditions faced by political prisoners, including the tragic case of an American aid worker. Lastly, the appointment of Tulsi Gabbard as Trump's intelligence chief has sparked intense debate on Capitol Hill. Critics are questioning her qualifications given her past meeting with Assad, raising concerns about her ability to provide unbiased intelligence. As confirmation hearings loom, the political landscape remains charged with uncertainty. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. The Independent reports that the U.S. State Department has defended Israel's military operations in Syria, particularly its occupation of the Golan Heights, a point of contention regarding international law. Spokesman Matthew Miller emphasized that Israel's actions were in self-defense, aimed at preventing militant groups from exploiting abandoned Syrian military positions near the border. He described the occupation of 5 Syrian villages as temporary and necessary due to the potential threat posed by terrorist organizations in the region. Despite this, the legality of the occupation remains disputed, as parts of the Golan Heights have been recognized internationally as illegally occupied since Israel's annexation in 1981. Associated Press details a significant indictment unsealed against 2 senior Syrian officials accused of overseeing a notorious prison known for torturing political prisoners, including a 26-year-old American woman believed to have been executed. The indictment marks a critical step in holding accountable those responsible for human rights abuses during the Syrian civil war, which has claimed countless lives since 2011. Prosecutors allege that the officials conspired to commit inhumane treatment of detainees, who faced severe physical and psychological abuse. This legal action reflects ongoing efforts by groups like the Syrian Emergency Task Force to seek justice for victims of the Assad regime's brutal crackdown on dissent. Associated Press also highlights the scrutiny faced by Tulsi Gabbard, President-elect Donald Trump's pick for intelligence chief, amidst the backdrop of Syria's political upheaval. Gabbard, who has faced backlash for her past visit to Syria and her ties to Assad, reaffirmed her support for Trump's foreign policy approach during her Senate meetings. Her nomination has raised alarms among former U.S. diplomats and intelligence officials, who question her ability to provide unbiased intelligence due to her controversial positions. As Trump assembles his cabinet, Gabbard's nomination exemplifies the tensions within the Republican Party and the broader implications for U.S. foreign policy, particularly regarding involvement in international conflicts. Deutsche Welle reports on the hopeful yet cautious atmosphere in Syria as citizens express their emotions through tears and joy while celebrating newfound freedom. The streets are alive with the sounds of returning citizens, and there is a palpable sense of optimism about the potential for a post-Assad era to usher in a new chapter of democracy. However, the path forward remains uncertain as the nation grapples with the complexities of rebuilding and uniting after years of conflict. In another report from Deutsche Welle, the focus shifts to the significant challenge of uniting the divided rebel forces in Syria. The anti-Assad factions have a history of internal strife, driven by differing political and religious ideologies. The article highlights the crucial roles of groups such as the Islamist militant HTS and the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, raising questions about their ability to reconcile their differences and work together towards a common goal of stability and peace in Syria. Meanwhile, Deutsche Welle covers the unfolding legal drama surrounding Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who is set to testify in his corruption trial. As the first sitting prime minister to face such charges, Netanyahu is accused of fraud, bribery, and breach of trust. The article notes the ongoing international scrutiny, including an unfulfilled International Criminal Court warrant related to alleged war crimes in Gaza, adding layers of complexity to Netanyahu's political future and Israel's governance. BBC The swift downfall of the Assad regime in Syria has thrown the UK into a whirlwind of foreign policy dilemmas. As Foreign Secretary David Lammy labelled Assad a monster in Parliament, uncertainty loomed over the fate of Syrian asylum applications. While Lammy was unsure about the government's stance, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper announced a suspension of these applications, citing that the primary reason for fleeing, the Assad regime, had dissipated. With 99% of Syrian asylum claims previously granted, this sudden halt raises questions about the intentions of those now seeking refuge, including potential regime affiliates. Moreover, the future of Syria remains murky, with the extremist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, emerging as a key player. The UK government is caught in a bind, needing to assess HTS's actions before deciding on diplomatic engagement, highlighting the rapidly shifting landscape in Syrian politics. SCMP opinion: the dramatic collapse of Bashar al-Assad's regime has not only ended years of civil war but has also reshaped the geopolitical dynamics in the Middle East. With Assad seeking asylum in Russia, the rebel forces' swift takeover of Damascus has sparked celebrations among those who suffered under his oppressive rule. Yet, this victory introduces new uncertainties, particularly for Russia and Iran, who have lost a crucial ally. As the rebels take charge, they face the challenge of establishing a government that accommodates Syria's diverse religious communities. A successful transition could pave the way for international engagement, including potential cooperation with China, which has expressed a desire for stability in the region. The hope is that the millions displaced during the conflict can finally return home, fostering a sense of normalcy and rebuilding in a war-torn nation. Associated Press: in the wake of Assad's ousting, the U.S. State Department has clarified that while the main Syrian rebel group, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, is still designated as a foreign terrorist organization, this does not preclude dialogue. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller emphasized that discussions with HTS could occur if they demonstrate a commitment to changing their actions. Drawing parallels with past negotiations, Miller acknowledged the necessity of engaging with HTS to safeguard U.S. interests in the region. Amidst these developments, President Biden has been in communication with Jordan's King Abdullah II, discussing strategies to prevent the Islamic State from exploiting the shifting power dynamics in Syria. The U.S. is also taking steps to secure its interests in the region, including arrangements for the shuttered embassy in Damascus, as officials aim to navigate the complexities of a post-Assad landscape. Al Jazeera: Palestinian factions have largely rallied in support of the Syrian people following the ousting of Bashar al-Assad, expressing hope that the new authorities will champion the Palestinian cause. As dawn broke in Damascus after a swift offensive by opposition forces, the State of Palestine, led by the PA, emphasized its respect for the Syrian people's will, advocating for their security and stability. Hamas extended congratulations to the Syrians for their pursuit of freedom, urging unity and condemning Israeli aggression, while also hoping for Syria to maintain its supportive role for Palestinians. The Islamic Jihad echoed similar sentiments, stressing the importance of Syria as a steadfast ally in the Palestinian struggle. Meanwhile, the left-wing PFLP chose to focus on denouncing Israeli attacks rather than directly addressing al-Assad's fall, warning against the dangers of Zionist aggression during this tumultuous period. A coalition of Palestinian factions underscored the need for a sovereign Syria, expressing hope for its continued support of the Palestinian cause amidst the ongoing internal changes. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Got a question in your mind? We'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything. Laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ends to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too, we've got the A to Z for you. We've got the facts in one great place, for kids and